Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this morning's Mind the Moment Tuesday morning mindfulness gathering brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare. As you all know, this is a place where we invite experienced mindfulness instructors to speak with us about what mindfulness means to them and to discuss as a community how we can incorporate these practices into our daily lives. And I am Suzanne Rowe Palacino, and I am here, happy to be here, with Tara Healey on Thursdays, founder and director of Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare's mindfulness program. Good morning, Tara.
Good morning, Suzanne. And good morning, everyone. There is a weird little fly kind of flying, like a fruit fly. All right, I just had to shoo it away.
We have to good morning to the flies as well.
It's like flying off in front of me.
We didn't even notice.
Okay, good.
So today, we'll start off with a question for the group, and that includes the fly.
Yeah.
And then Tara will lead us in a guided practice, and we'll have a chance to talk with one another and ask questions and make comments. So if you could go to the bottom of the screen and click on your chat and open that up. And if you'd like to see all the comments as they come in real time, just click the drop-down menu that says panelists, and it will give you the option to hit panelists and attendees so you can see all the comments as they come in. So let's start with a question, Tara. What do you have to ask the group this morning?
Yeah, so as I was thinking and planning this morning, one of the things that kept coming to me was doing a meditation on compassion, self-compassion, and loving kindness. And it's not something that I have done on these Thursday mornings as of yet, but yesterday in a session that I was leading for a group, I led a loving kindness practice. And so I thought it would be that I would start off the day with that. And in the spirit of that, my question is related. And it is, what is something about yourself that you appreciate? What is a quality or a characteristic that you innately have, that you appreciate, that you value, that you think is important? And as folks are thinking about it, so you could use the chat to just let us know something about yourself that you value and appreciate. And as everyone is thinking, we'll start with Suzanne and ask Suzanne. So Suzanne, what is something that you value about yourself, that you bring to the table in this world that's so divided often? What is something that you value?
Yeah, I would say I most value my friendliness and my ability to make people feel at ease. I've been told that. So that's something that I value and I think I can bring to a lot of situations.
Yeah, that's great. I so see that in you, Suzanne. Yeah, that is my experience of you as well. And I would say that I value my capacity for empathy. So since I was a young child, I feel like I have been pretty good with reading other people's emotions and also just feeling things deeply. But let's look at, wow, I so love all of this coming in, listening, dependability, comfort, patience.
Sense of humor.
Yeah, ability. Wow, this is really great.
Spiritual seeking, dependability.
Ability to agree, to disagree, commitment to truth, opening to new ways of thinking, loyalty. Yeah.
Judgment.
Thank you. That's really, that's great. I honestly, this morning when I was thinking about the question and just wanting to welcome everybody and invite everybody into the conversation, I think sometimes in our culture, we're very hard on ourselves, that it is more difficult to be kind to ourselves and to recognize our innate goodness and what we bring. So I was curious, like how, because this is not about being boastful in any way, this is really just what do we appreciate about who we are and what we bring to the table. And that's not always such an easy thing to think about or to say. And so I'm like delighted to see so much of this. So with that in mind, the way that I'm going to lead this loving kindness practice is I'm going to, and I imagine that many of you have done something like this. Very likely many of you have not, and this is new. So either way, everyone is welcome, and I'm going to guide this. So I'm going to have us first think about and send kindness and goodwill to somebody that is easy for us to love. And that could include a pet. It doesn't have to be another human being. So, and then we're going to focus on ourselves. So we'll do those two. And so let's go ahead and get started. And with this practice, you're always encouraged to sit in a really comfy way. So, if we do like a seated practice, sometimes there's an upright but relaxed posture. In these practices with loving kindness, you can actually soften the belly. You can lean back in the chair. You can put on some comfy socks and a blanket, whatever is just going to make you feel supported and really, really comfortable. If you're sleepy, I would recommend just keeping the eyes open or standing, but otherwise comfy. All right, so take that posture that is going to serve you best this morning, allowing the eyes to remain open or closed, whatever, again, is going to serve you best. And as usual, begin with 2 deep breaths, making the exhalation double the length of the inhalation as a way for us to settle any surface tension and settle in. And letting go of all that has happened so far today and releasing anticipation of what's to come. Surrendering the weight into the support of the surface, knowing that you will be held by the earth below. You can soften and surrender into the support. And just for a moment, becoming aware of sound in the room that you're in or outside of the room. Just receptive to hearing. Allowing sound to remain in the background, beginning to bring the awareness inward to the whole body. And just for a moment, we'll settle on the breath sensation as an anchor for attention. So as you breathe in and out, just see where in the body that sensation is strongest for you, and see if you can track the sensation of the inhalation and the exhalation. Just allowing that to serve as an anchor to the present moment, as an anchor for the wandering mind. Settling into this moment. And however you're breathing is fine. Tracking the breath in, tracking the breath out. And let's go ahead and begin this loving kindness practice by calling to mind, to your mind's eye, someone that is easy for you to love, someone that you have felt loved by. Again, this includes the animal kingdom, or another, it could be a friend, it could be a family member, it could be a teacher, So taking a moment to call that being to mind, to the mind's eye, and noticing what kind of feelings that conjures up in you. how that might feel in the body, or what thoughts are occurring as a result of bringing this person or this animal, this being to the mind's eye. And you can silently repeat after me. So, may you be peaceful and at ease. And so, this being that is in your mind's eye, wishing peace and ease. And may your heart be soft and open. May you be safe and protected. And may your body be healthy and strong, or as much as is impossible for you in the particular state of health that you may be in. And we'll do that again. So may you be peaceful and at ease. May your heart be soft and open. May you be safe and protected. And your body healthy and strong, or as much as is possible in the state of health that you are in. Just noticing how the body feels and offering goodwill to this person that is easy to love or that has loved you. And let's now turn to ourselves. So may I be peaceful and at ease. May my heart be soft and open. May I be safe and protected. May my body be healthy and strong, or as much as is possible in the state of health that I am in. May I be peaceful and at ease. May my heart be soft and open. May I be safe and protected. May my body be healthy and strong, or as much as is possible in the state of health that I am in. And we'll do one more round that I'm going to add. And this time it would be for somebody who is neutral in your life. And this can sometimes be a little bit tricky to find because mostly we have certain feelings about people, especially those we know. So this would be someone that you might see on a regular basis, but don't really interact with much. So it could be somebody who is bags your groceries, somebody you see at the post office. Um, so a person that you might have some very casual interaction with, perhaps have spoken to, but most likely not. So is there somebody that you could call to mind, bring that person forth to the mind's eye? May you be peaceful and at ease. May your heart be soft and open. May you be safe and protected. And your body healthy and strong, or as much as is possible in the state your body is in. May you be peaceful and at ease. May your heart be soft and open. May you be safe and protected. And your body healthy and strong, or as much as is possible in the state that your body is in. So take a moment to feel the impact in the body physically. Perhaps take a deep inhalation and exhalation. Sort of widening the lens of awareness over the whole body. Noticing points of contact, noticing the physical expression in the body from this guided practice. And just for one moment or so, connecting with breath sensation again as a way to seal the practice. Or another object that's easy for your attention to track. And I'll count back from 3 to 1. And when I arrive at 1, you can allow your eyes to open if they were closed or otherwise reconnecting with each other. So 3, 2, 1. And as you feel ready, opening the eyes, perhaps stretching a little bit.
Thank you, Tara.
Yeah, so welcome back, everybody. One thing I just wanted to add at the end where I say, may your body be healthy and strong, or as well as it can be. These are aspirations, we're aspiring these qualities, and that some bodies are not well. And so it's as well as you can be in the particular condition that you're in, I think is an important add-on to this. So I just want to offer that. Yeah. But yeah.
I'm interested. I've always wondered from your perspective, when we focus on a neutral person, what's the purpose or the goal behind that? I can see choosing oneself or choosing someone you're close to. What is the goal in choosing a neutral person?
Yeah, so thanks for that question, Suzanne. Because I think that it expands our compassion and our sense of goodness and kindness beyond just our loved ones. That we, and we can actually, it just expands that capacity, that I think one of the things this practice did for me really early on is that I could see, as I was understanding the nature of my mind, kind of how the mind worked, that I was not only understanding the nature of my mind, but I was actually understanding the nature of minds in general. And that really broadened my sense of compassion for humanity. And so, we are much more alike than we are different. And this capacity to treat others with kindness beyond just our inner circle, beyond just ourselves. And that, you'll find that if you're doing this kind of compassion practice regularly for somebody, like that you see in the grocery store, that you start to feel a kind of love for that person. Like you're, I'm using that word lightly, but it just expands and broadens our capacity for kindness beyond our inner circle. Yeah. How about others? Anybody want to comment on that question or share an observation or a thought even about how the practice was really?
Someone says empathy for all people, not just those we know personally.
That's right. That's right. It's the expansion of that capacity.
Someone had the question about the difficult person because that have done the loving kindness practice know sometimes we focus on a difficult person.
Yeah.
And anything to say on that?
Yeah. So, one of the reasons I didn't do it is because it would it would be too much time. But that would be the fourth category, as someone pointed out here, is the difficult person. And I suggest always starting with somebody who's not too difficult, because that you're, there are people in our lives who are probably quite difficult, and you want to start with somebody who's a little bit easier. And I actually had somebody, I'm just remembering this right now, someone in the session yesterday who had someone in her life who was very difficult. And she said, I am not doing this for them. And then somehow she just decided to start doing it. She said it changed and she was a non-believer. I should actually say that she was a skeptic that this could change her feelings toward this person. But she hung in there and kept this practice up, and it transformed their relationship. It was, so again, like I always tell people, like, this is an empirical practice. If you think there might be something to it, test it for yourself. And which is exactly what she did. It's like she didn't just do it once. She started to incorporate this on a very regular basis. And there are different, like I end every of my daily practice with a metta. I end every single practice with metta. So you can do it as a standalone practice, or you could, begin or end with it.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Walking in someone else's shoes, you never know what someone else has been through.
No, I know.
A comment we were talking about earlier, actually, I'm an empath.
Yeah.
And sometimes I take on the feelings of a person I've met and have a hard time letting that feeling go.
Yeah. That's really,
I understand.
yes, it's funny because I said to Suzanne, because I'm also empathic, and sometimes it can be a blessing or a curse, because you can take on a lot. I feel like this practice has helped me to balance that quite a lot. And just the noticing when you're taking on a lot, so coming out of the stories about it and coming into the physical feeling in the body. Again, that's, really looking at, what does this feel like physically? What's actually going on? And that, just see if that's helpful or not. Like anything, is this helpful or not?
Someone was asking about, I heard this practice called loving kindness and befriending practice, but not metta. What does metta mean?
Yeah, well, it could be like, heard this practice called loving kindness. Yeah, I think it's all the same. It's really all the same. Metta, and it's really the distinguishing factors. It is a befriending, it is a loving kindness, it is a compassion, it is a kindness practice. Yeah, so I would say it's all the same. And
yeah, and metta is from the Buddhist tradition, it's a Pali word that means, kindness, benevolence,
yes,
goodwill.
yes.
So it's just a different
Yeah,
language.
yeah. It is a Buddhist term, though. Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, yeah.
Ironically, someone says, I find it easier to apply metta to difficult people in my life than I did to myself.
Yeah.
I'm British, so perhaps it's cultural with me, the inherent message that feelings aren't important and don't be selfish. Interesting.
Yeah, it's really interesting culturally. That's true. And I have absolutely heard people say that it's difficult to apply to themselves. That's not uncommon. And that's why, in part, I also said, be careful to note that this is not in any way boasting, that this is, but our culture was going to influence us. And that gives you good grist for the mill, gives you good grist to work with. Um,
I understand what you've mentioned about it's hard to apply to ourselves. Sometimes I even find putting my hand on my heart when I do the practice
yeah,
is helpful. Just to like, it's okay,
yes,
it's okay to bring these good
yes,
feelings to oneself.
yeah,
We
yeah,
deserve it, it's
yes,
I can understand that sometimes it is difficult to bring it to oneself.
absolutely. Yeah. Metta is the Buddhist term for loving kindness. Yep. Yep, it is. So that's why I would not offer a distinction and that it feels more like semantics. Yep.
Can be difficult to give permission to do self-care, especially those of us who work in social work or nonprofits.
Yeah. I know it's an interesting thing, right? And yet I'm not saying anything that is not obvious is that when we care for ourselves, then we can give more to others. Um, yeah, and I encourage folks to look at that, the difficulty in offering loving kindness to ourselves, the difficulty in self-care for ourselves as grist for the practice mill. Like, what is that? You don't have to have any answer to that, but it's really working with this question, and sometimes in practice, it's helpful to just pose the question, why is this difficult for me? And not search for an answer, but actually do the practice, feel the physical expression in the body. Um, and again, I would say that when we're doing meditation, say anchor, like a concentration practice, the idea is that we're trying to settle the mind because mindfulness works best on a settled platform. So this capacity of mindfulness, to see clearly how things actually are and not how we wish they were, that is going to do it. That's just going to work better when there's steadiness of mind. So you're basically employing the concentration in the service of seeing clearly. And it's an important point. So, you can do also open monitoring practice. So you can get some steadiness and then open the attention up. Um, and just be with the arising and passing of thoughts and emotions and body sensations, which is can be really instructive.
Yeah, no, I've heard many people say that the loving kindness practice takes takes time to be able to connect with it at times. Some people feel like feel a little contrived.
Yes.
So it
Or
is.
they don't physically feel those warm, gushy feelings. Like people say, I don't feel it. As Sharon Salzberg says, who's sort of like the mother of these practices here in this country, she'll say, you don't actually have to feel it. You just have to have the intent. You have to have the intention to have a desire to feel kindness toward yourself, toward somebody who's a benefactor or someone that's easy to love, toward a neutral person, toward a difficult person. You just need the intent. That's such an important distinction. You don't have to feel it.
Yeah, and I wonder if it's like anything else that we train our brain to do. If our brain, it's like the fight or flight has our brains are trained just innately to be looking for problems or looking for
Yeah, that's true. The default mode is, yeah. And I think to your point of training, whatever we incline the mind toward on a regular basis, we train. So as Dr. Richard Davidson says, wittingly or unwittingly, we're always training something. So let's do it wittingly.
yeah. Well, it's nice to have everyone with us this morning, and thank you so
Yeah.
much, Tara, for your guidance and practice.
Yeah, thank you everybody for this conversation and for your input. And yeah, I really appreciate it.
Yeah. And we will see you back here on Tuesday. So just a reminder that we're here every Tuesday morning at 8:30. So every Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
And this coming Tuesday, we will have Jackie Johnson here with us. So looking.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. So I encourage if you're around to, Jackie's a wonderful teacher.
Yes, she is. So again, we're happy to be with you this morning, and I hope you have a good rest of your day, and we hope to see you soon.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining.